Welcome to Devotional Drops, where we explore the timeless truths of Scripture and how they guide us through life's challenges. Today we're reflecting on Psalm 125, 1-2, a passage that offers us a powerful reminder of God's steadfast protection and the strength we find when we place our trust in Him. The psalm says, "Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken but endures forever. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds His people both now and forevermore." Let's dive into what it means to have unshakable trust in God. The strength of trust in God. Psalm 125 is part of the Songs of Ascents, sung by pilgrims as they journeyed to Jerusalem. These songs reminded God's people of His faithfulness and protection. The imagery here is striking. Mount Zion, standing firm and immovable, symbolizes the security of those who trust in God. Just as Mount Zion endures through time and weather, so does the faith of those who rely on Him. The psalm also compares God's protection to the mountains surrounding Jerusalem. These mountains acted as natural fortresses, safeguarding the city from external threats. Similarly, God surrounds His people with His presence and care, not just for a moment, but both now and forevermore. This eternal promise assures us that no matter what we face, we are never outside the reach of His protection. What does it mean to have unshakable trust? Unshakable trust doesn't mean pretending life is perfect or ignoring difficulties. Instead, it's about anchoring our confidence in God's character and promises, even when circumstances feel uncertain or overwhelming. Here are some key aspects of unshakable trust. It is rooted in God's faithfulness. Trusting in God means believing that He is faithful, loving, and sovereign. Lamentations 3:22-23 reminds us, "Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." It brings stability amid chaos. When life feels unstable, trusting in God provides a firm foundation. Psalm 62:2 declares, "Truly He is my rock and my salvation, He is my fortress. I will never be shaken." It is sustained by His presence. Just as the mountains surround Jerusalem, God surrounds His people with His presence and protection. This truth assures us that we are never alone. Deuteronomy 31:6. It looks beyond circumstances. Unshakable trust focuses on God's eternal promises rather than temporary challenges. It reminds us that our ultimate security lies in Him. How to cultivate unshakable trust. Building unshakable trust doesn't happen overnight. It requires intentional effort and reliance on God's grace. Here are some practical steps to help you cultivate this kind of faith. Meditate on Scripture. Reflect on passages that affirm God's faithfulness and protection, such as Psalm 125, 1-2, or Isaiah 41:10. "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." Let these truths take root in your heart. Pray with confidence. Bring your fears and uncertainties to God in prayer. Philippians 4:6-7 encourages us to present our requests to Him with thanksgiving, trusting that His peace will guard our hearts. Remember His faithfulness. Reflect on times when God has carried you through difficult seasons. Keeping a journal of answered prayers or moments of divine provision can strengthen your trust during challenging times. Surround yourself with community. Fellowship with other believers who can encourage you in your faith journey. Sharing testimonies and praying together fosters mutual trust in God. Surrender control. Trusting God means letting go of the need to control every outcome. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Biblical examples of unshakable trust. The Bible offers countless examples of individuals who demonstrated unshakable trust in God. Joseph, despite being sold into slavery and imprisoned unjustly, Joseph trusted that God was working for good. Genesis 50:20. His faith led him from suffering to a position of leadership in Egypt. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These three men refused to bow to King Nebuchadnezzar's golden image, declaring their trust in God even if it meant facing death. Daniel 3:17-18. Their unshakable faith resulted in divine deliverance. David. Throughout his life, David faced numerous trials, from fleeing Saul to battling enemies, but he consistently trusted in God as his refuge. Psalm 62:7. These stories remind us that unshakable trust doesn't eliminate challenges, but empowers us to face them with courage and confidence in God. Encouragement for your journey. If you're feeling overwhelmed or uncertain today, take heart. God is your unshakable foundation. No matter how fierce the storm or how high the mountain before you may seem, His presence surrounds you like the mountains around Jerusalem. Remember this promise from Isaiah 26:3-4, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord Himself is the rock eternal." Let this truth anchor your heart as you navigate life's challenges. Final reflection. Psalm 125:1-2 reminds us that trusting in God makes us unshakable, like Mount Zion itself, and assures us of His eternal protection. As you go through today, reflect on what it means to place your full confidence in Him. No matter what challenges arise, remember that He surrounds you with His presence, both now and forevermore. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Devotional Drops. May these reflections encourage you to cultivate unshakable trust as you walk confidently with God. Until next time, stay encouraged and stay blessed.